In this lesson, we are going to cover an introduction to JavaScripting and 2 techniques for displaying debug messages in WinCC Unified. In preparation for this lesson, I did create a JavaScript screen, and then on the main screen, I did put a push button to navigate to the JavaScript screen. So I will open up the JavaScript screen. On this screen, I do have a momentary push button and an IO field that's displaying the status of a tag value that is changed via the push button. What we are going to do is we are going to take a circle object and put that on the screen. And we are going to use the momentary push button and some JavaScript to change the background color property of the circle. So I'm going to select the momentary push button and go to the Events tab and select the press event. Currently, there is a system function that's called setBitInTag here, and so on a press event, you can put in a series of system functions if you would like. In WinCC Unified, there is a push button that allows us to convert the list of system functions into JavaScript code. So I will select this push button, and that will convert that system function into JavaScript. So now I would be able to add in additional JavaScript to the press event of this push button. I am going to right-click and select snippets. There are 2 categories of snippets, and these are predefined code segments that can be inserted into the JavaScript editor. The logic area will show you all the different language statements like if, then, else, and various looping instructions. The HMI runtime has a wide range of options that are available. So I'm going to select the screen category here. And in the screen category, there is a snippet that allows you to change the screen item property in the current screen. So I'm going to select this option. And so wherever my cursor was in the JavaScript editor, it's going to insert a basic example. The first thing here is the screen.items. This is going to refer to objects on the current screen. By default, this comes in looking for a rectangle object. So what I'm going to do is double click on this so it's blue, and I'm going to press my Control-J key. This is an object browser. So now this is going to list out the different objects on this screen. So I'm going to select the circle object and accept it. So now the screen item is going to refer to circle 1, then dot, and then you can specify the actual property on the object that you want to change. So I'm going to do the back color for the background color of the circle. In this HMI runtime category .math, there is an RGB instruction that allows us to select the color that we are going to use. And so these are the RGB colors. Each color is a value between 0 and 255. So right now, the way that this RGB instruction is set, red is 0, green is 0, and blue is full 255. So we're going to get a color blue for our background color. So I'm going to select this text here, and I'm going to use my keyboard, Control-C, to copy this text, and I'm going to go to the release event. I am going to select the button to convert the system functions to JavaScript. And then I will use my keyboard and paste in the command from the press event. But now I want to change the color here. Instead of it being 255 for blue, I'm going to change that to be 0. And I'm going to put the 255 in the first position. So this will now set on the release event, it will set the background color to red. The next thing I would like to do is show you how to display a basic debug message on the screen. So I'm going to take a text box object and drag that out onto the screen. With the text box object selected, I'm going to go to the properties, and there's a few things that I want to change for this text box. First is going to be the default text. This is just going to be our JS debug window. This is just static text, so I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to go down to my miscellaneous properties. And here's the name of this text box object. So I am going to paste that text. So we have a unique name for our text box object. I'm going to go up to the format area, and for my alignment here, for the horizontal alignment, I'm going to select left justified. For my vertical alignment, I am going to pick top justification. And then I'm going to make this window just a little bit bigger and position that up here. I'm going to go up to the appearance properties, and I'm going to change the border width from 0 to 2, just so that we have a border around our text box. So what I want to be able to do is display messages inside of this text box to help us in our debugging. So I'm going to select this momentary push button, and I'm going to go down to the Events tab and select the Press event. Press Enter. Now I'm going to copy so Control C, Control V. Now the screen items, I'm going to double click on the circle, do Control J, and I'm going to select my text box JS debug window. Put my cursor at the end and specify a period, and then I can pick out the individual property that I'm looking for. So I'll just type in a T, and then I will select the text attribute. And so I can set this equal to the text press event. Now in this case, during runtime, if I would press the momentary push button, it would write in press event into that JS debug window. I want to make this so that I can append new messages to the previous text message within the JavaScript window. In order to do that, I am going to declare a variable. So I'm going to use the let statement, and it's going to be called message. And I'm going to set that equal to the previous text of this text box. So I will just take the screen item, that text, and I'll use my keyboard shortcut, Control C, Control V, and paste that. So this is going to assign a variable called message equal to the existing text. I'm going to use the plus sign for concatenation, and then I'm going to insert a few control characters that is going to give me like a carriage return new line. So I'm going to use a \r, \n, close quotes. I'll use the plus sign. And then I'm going to take the text that I put down here. I'm going to cut it and paste it up here. So this is going to be the statement that's created in our message. I will set the new text property equal to our variable called message. There is a check syntax button up here, so I can press this to make sure that my syntax is checked and there are no issues, so everything looks good. So this is one method of displaying debug messages in WinCC Unified. I'm going to select the release event, and I'm going to show you another approach. So I'm going to right click, pick snippets, go down to HMI Runtime, and I'm going to select the trace snippet. So what this will do is we'll write a message to an external program that is called the RTIL trace viewer. So I will just change this text here, and I will say release event. So now I will save my project, select my HMI, and start the simulation. I will select the runtime values, uncheck keep current user administration, and select load. I will start my Chrome browser. Log into the runtime system. log in as my admin user, enter in my password, HMI 12345, sign in, go to the JavaScript screen, and when I press the momentary push button, it changes the background color to blue and writes in a press event message. And when I release it, it changes the background color to red. If I press the momentary button again, it just writes in another press event. Now I will minimize TIA Portal and minimize the runtime software. And I created a shortcut to RTIL Trace Viewer program that's in the installation folder. So I'm going to open this up. There are quite a few messages that are going to be showing up in this trace viewer because it is general messages that are displayed about what's going on in the WinCC unified system. The first thing that I'd like to do is go over to the filter area, and then I will go to the subsystem area and I will look for the script FW section. And this is going to filter by scripting messages. And then what I will do is typically delete all of the previous messages. Okay, so I don't have any messages in the trace viewer. I will go back to my runtime system and I will press the momentary button, and then when I release it, it will write in a message to the trace viewer. So here's my release event. I will close out the RTM trace viewer and open up TIA Portal. One last thing that I will mention about scripting is there is a scripts section in the project tree. And then here's where you can actually add in a new global script module. And this is where you can store subroutines that you would be able to call. I will cover that in a future lesson. In this lesson, we covered a basic introduction to JavaScripting and a couple techniques for displaying debug information.